Hey everybody, good morning. It's the Big JB. It's Monday, and it's time for another Morning Thunder. Let's see. For a quick weekend update, it was my youngest's birthday this weekend, and it was really cool. My wife put a lot of effort into doing things that were special for her. Pardon me. And the coolest thing is, so she said she wanted a butterfly birthday as one of her things, and then she's really been into Narnia stuff lately. And I just got done reading the whole book of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe to them, in anticipation of showing her that movie for her birthday. So on Friday night we had a butterfly birthday thing, just the family. We had butterfly plates and napkins and balloons and stuff, and just had some of her favorite foods. And then on Saturday, about 3 o'clock, we had some family come over, and everybody was supposed to play a role. They didn't have to get in full costume, but everybody was supposed to do something. And so we kind of reenacted the story of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which was really cool. Had dinner. We picked a bunch of food from some of the feasts and stuff that they mentioned in the book, and then we watched The Chronicles of Narnia, which was really cool, the first one. And she loved it. And then last night, I got to show her the first Star Wars, Episode 4. That's kind of been a tradition. At a certain age, I'd start showing those to my kids. Of course, they know about Star Wars, because, it's me. But we got to see A New Hope. We didn't finish it, but she was enjoying it and liked spending time with just the two of us. So, as a special request today, I asked one of my buddies on Twitter and also here on YouTube, The Real RPG Guy, what he'd like to hear me talk about. And he asked me what one of my favorite RPG experiences was. And I would have to say, I think at least one of the most memorable. I'm not sure if it's my favorite because of how it turned out, but it's certainly one of my most memorable. And so when he asked what your favorite was, it's probably the one that comes to mind, the first. So I started playing D&D at 3rd edition, and my brother and I were really interested in doing it. So this friend of mine was offered to DM the game with just the two of us. So I chose a half-elf druid, my brother chose a half-elf barbarian, and essentially we started with, this is back when druids were not, they could be shapeshifters, but they could have a lot of animal companions. So I chose to start with an owl, which I thought was kind of cool. And there was this theme that the DM wove into everything about uniquely colored, sorry, my eyes are really itchy this morning, about uniquely colored animals. And me being an animal nut, and of course that translated into my druid, I was very curious about these colored animals, and they were being captured and apparently taken to somebody for some nefarious purpose. So being the druid that I was, I wanted to set them free. And we came to this one town finally, and there were all these animals that were stacked on crates that were going to go on a boat upriver. And one of the things that was in there was a red goat, like literally red colored, like bright red. So we were working on freeing the animals, and this giant centipede was either being transferred or just started to attack. And we were trying to get this red goat out, and I worked so hard to get the goat out, and then the centipede friggin' ate the goat. So this thing that my druid, who was completely passionate about animals, was trying to save this thing's life, ended up setting it free to be devoured by a centipede. It was the worst, like, no, kind of moment, like, I can't believe that happened. That character was a real challenge for me to play. He was neutral. I think he was true neutral, or maybe lawful neutral, and it was really tough for me to play. I did not know how to play that character, and a lot of the things that I thought were going to be cool about that character didn't end up being that cool. Like entangling roots. It grasps everything, or used to grasp everything that was in the area. Well, great. So if I wanted to do it against some enemies and be able to stand back and fire into them, that means that the barbarian can't do anything, and that means that it's such a big area we have to stand practically out of range or risk being grabbed by it. So that was a pain. So yeah, I would say, I think, I don't know that, like I said, I don't necessarily know that's my favorite because it ended up being such a failure on my part as a druid. But I did enjoy that game a lot. We had a lot of fun in that game. I miss playing that game, and if I had to do it over again, I would definitely reimagine the characters a little bit. I started to go in a direction where my druid was going to be sort of a, I guess, an ecological or environmental terrorist. Not as bad as that sounds, but like to the point where civilization was worthless and he was going to avenge animals that were hurt and stuff, which would have put him in quite a moral dilemma, given the fact that he allowed this red goat to die. So that is it. Thanks to RPG Guy for the suggestion. I will be asking on Twitter anybody else who wants to get some other, hear some other things from me. I am going to sign off for the day. Have an awesome day today, and I will see everybody tomorrow. This has been TheBigJB. You can follow me on Twitter at VoiceOfTheBigJB. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. See ya.